flow. We'll show you what we've come to know on board while sailing wisdom.
I just think it's hilarious.
What's so funny?
Harvey just told me to save a trip, and it's just so funny that everything is relative. I mean, we live in such a small space, and I just counted. It's 5 steps from the V-berth to right here, and it's like when you have to go back and forth, it's like, ugh. It's 5 steps.
Hello, Morty, you ready to go? Yeah, we're gonna get the anchor up, and we're gonna go, and you're gonna be a dog.
So this morning we woke up in the Hobe Sound, and it is beautiful, but it's time to go already. We're going to try to make 15 miles today. We'll see. It depends on the batteries. We used up a lot of charge yesterday, scooting to get into bridges, under bridges at the right times and everything. But the good news is, from here on out, all the bridges are either fixed or on demand. So we don't have to deplete our batteries so much trying to make bridge opening times, which is really great. Just getting back into the channel here. And it's pretty windy today, which means we might be able to put up some sail, which is exciting because we're a sailboat. In the ICW, the channel is marked by green and red markers, and when you're going north down here in Florida, the green is on the right and the red is on the left. They say red, right, returning to Miami. So it's important to remember that the ICW is a man-made ditch, which means that the markers are extra important, because if you're outside of the markers, it gets shallow really fast and really shallow. Since we draw 6.5 feet, it's super important for us to stay within the markers. We are proud members of the OCC, and we finally got our pennant.
That boat that just went by us, it's got some really cool features. So one, it's all in-mast furling, roller furling, like furling everything. Then it's got davits, and it's got the sugar scoop stern, a pretty shallow draft, and a really strong diesel. So that is excellent for motoring up and down the ICW. If the winds are good, you can put your sails out when the winds aren't good or you get to where you're going, just put your sails away. No mess. It's all furled nice and neat. And then the davits in the back let you pull your dinghy out of the water every time you're done using it, so then you don't get barnacles or algae or any kind of fouling growth on the dinghy. And then when you're going somewhere, it's really easy to get the dinghy out of the water so it's less drag and you're not dragging your dinghy behind you. As well, those davits, great place for solar panels. A whole bunch of solar panels can go there. And then the sugar scoop is really good for getting in and out to go swimming. And then that shallow draft, so important. We were following him and it got to be 0.1 feet deep under our keel, which means we're about to hit bottom. And he was just motoring fine and we had to like take evasive action to find some slightly deeper water. So if you have a shallow keel, then you can anchor more places, you can be a lot less stressed while you're going down the channel. It's pretty cool design for going up and down the ICW.
What's interesting is those things that Herbie just mentioned are fantastic for river boating and ICW, but everything that he mentioned actually counts against the boat if they're gonna go out into the ocean do blue water cruising. So it's just really interesting how boats are built for specific purposes, and that boat was perfect for doing what we're doing now. Our boat, not so perfect. But when it comes to blue water sailing, that's when our boat shines. So the perfect cruising yacht does not exist. It's just the perfect boat for you and what you plan to use it for. Heading into some nasty stuff. Dropped anchor, we made it just before the rain. Rain has since stopped and we're happy where we are. We're right outside of a mooring field. We're just gonna stay here the night. Tomorrow we keep moving. It was a really nice ride. Motoring without the generator has been a gift and it's so nice and quiet. We just experienced the peacefulness and beauty that is the ICW. Down here there's a lot of wetland and just, it's where it gets really narrow, it's just beautiful because you're surrounded by nature, and without the sound of a big motor, you can appreciate it. We saw a lot of birds. It was really neat. We didn't scare them away with our loudness or our big wake or anything like that. It's a peaceful and enjoyable way to see the ICW. It's a magical morning. It was made even more magical because it began at 7 a.m. when Herbie dove into the water to retrieve my phone. Last night, 14 hours ago, I dropped my phone into the water and didn't realize it until after dinner. Herbie retrieved it. It took him an hour. He found it. I don't know how. The water has such low visibility here. It was a miracle. And now I have my phone, and it works. It was 6 feet down for 14 hours. So now we're headed to Fort Pierce, and it's about a 13-mile journey. It's a beautiful day. we're gonna get on our way. There can be miracles when you believe. Though hope is frail, it's hard to care. Who knows what miracles you can achieve?
Hi.
Getting
So
up that anchor?
That soft, sticky mud on the bottom made it almost impossible to get the anchor out of it. I had to go low gear and like push as hard as I could.
And yet you found the phone.
Yes, on that soft, sticky mud. Yeah, heard some of that soft, sticky mud fall off the anchor.
Ugh.
Lovely.
Does that mean we're free?
Oh yeah, the anchor is almost at the roller.
Okay, I'm gonna go get behind the wheel.
All right. So the really awesome thing with these lithium batteries is the range, the added range. And everyone touts, oh, you get more range, blah, blah. But what's it actually mean? Well, with our AGMs, we could run them till they were dead in about 4 miles. And we were out of juice. Where now we're going, and we're using about half the battery pack, and we're going 15 to 16 miles every day. So that alone is just mind-blowing and amazing. Like, we can actually motor with a comfortable speed and a happy range.
I was old, I was young, I was sitting in the sun. I was tired of the run, I was done. Life was great, life was hard, in a way an awful card. You
Holy
can't
cow.
win the losing
Yeah.
hand. But the rain stopped falling and the line on the floor was crossed, and the pain I'd been feeling washed away to return another day.
Old habits die hard, so I used to always motor along at like a snail's pace, trying to squeak out as much potential power that we could from our lead acid batteries. Because the harder you draw from them, the less amps they have to give. Like, it's a really bad system for electric propulsion. But it was cheap, so we did it. Now that we have the lithium batteries, I don't have to do it like that anymore. So I was going along at like, 40 amps, which was a lot for me back in the time when we had lead acid batteries. But nowadays it's like, hey, dude, you can go quicker. So we're going at like 3 to 3.5 knots. It's like, let's give it a little more power. So now we're going along at 80 amps, and we're doing 4.5 to 5 knots. So we'll be there in about an hour rather than about 2 hours. So kind of worth it.
The only thing we have, tuna wraps. Except this time they don't have cucumbers. So we ran out of cucumbers. Why isn't anyone begging over there? Okay, we're coming into our anchorage now. It was a pretty uneventful ride. There's a lot of extra traffic today because it's July 4th, so everyone's out on the water, but everything was fine. We're in the super wide river, the Indian River, so there wasn't a whole lot of craziness, and now we are entering Fort Pierce. So we're excited to kind of come into this anchorage and get ready to get into a marina tomorrow. You've been driving for 4 hours?
Yeah.
How do you feel?
A lot less tired than I thought I would because I gave it more juice so that way we'd go faster. So then I didn't have to drive for 5 hours, it was just 4.
Yay.
Excellent. So I feel bad for those poor people with diesels listening to their motor the whole day, but oh well.
That means you get to go to shore. Yeah. Yeah. The those are my favorite.
Protect me from you, my thief. It's getting late.
Oh, those are awesome. Whoa.
I'm trying to heal. I'm trying to bend. Someone please come to my defense. Or will you sweeten up on your return?
Whoa.
Baby, will I ever
Whoa. Oh my gosh.
for you from heaven above? Take me back, I can't get enough.
Well, I went into the locker and it's just covered in mold. It was one of our biggest fears that that would happen while we were stuck in Europe during the pandemic.
Ah, crap. So I was filling the water tanks. Had water going into the bladder tank, the rain collector. And apparently there's a leak in it.
Thanks for watching this episode of Sailing Wisdom. Don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next Rigging Doctor episode. And if you're interested in even more Rigging Doctor awesomeness, consider becoming a patron to see all of our extras. Can't wait to see you next time as you join us out here on the high seas.